What's up, Rockstars? Welcome to another news update. There is some massive news, and actually, this is going to be such a big deal that there is stuff that I'm actually going to have to put into a second video, a deep dive into a particular company, particular subject. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. Additionally, we're going to start with Stonesaga here, and Stonesaga has a review coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned tomorrow for the Stonesaga review. I finally have that out for you guys. And I told you I'd have it done in time, and I did. As you can see, I'm not even done with my game room yet, but I got the review out. So I'm doing what I can here. Look, over 1 million, that's huge. 7,000 backers, that's huge. And they're still going to have that big jump at the last 48 hours, last 2 days. There is only 4 days left, so feel free to check out the links in the description below to a whole bunch of stuff, everything I'm covering today, and of course, everything else that I've been tracking. There's a ton there for you, but Stonesaga is among those links. You can go and check it out. They have been doing great. They've been unlocking all sorts of stretch goals and stuff like that. There's a lot of, they have gameplay videos up now and a whole bunch of stuff. So you can do all the research you want. And again, tomorrow I will have a review up. So stay tuned again for that. Alright guys, today's video is sponsored by Into the AM. This channel partner has been partnered with me for a long time. It's because you guys appreciate quality product, I appreciate quality product, and we all like it at a great price. And that's what these are. This is one of the newer ones that I got. I think it is pretty darn freaking cool. They have so many good, cool designs, and they are constantly having sales. Plus, I have a 10% off discount code in the description below. Feel free to check that out. It works on top of sales. Let's take a look at some new stuff. They have the Virtue Vibes tree. I really appreciate this Peacemonger tee. That looks super cool. All of these, by the way, are new. Since even the last time I showed you guys, they are constantly making new and great and fantastic designs that you can check out. And again, they are the best shirts I have ever worn. And I say that with full confidence. You guys can attest to it. You guys have tried them and you guys love them too. And that's because they are fantastic. So feel free to check it out. Into the AM, they're supporting the channel. Go ahead and support the channel as well by giving them a look, seeing if there's anything you like. And with that, let's get to the video. Moving right along, drop and paint. This is Scale 75's, it's a hard thing for me to say, airbrush paints. Now, I have some thoughts here. First of all, I did think of a con here. One of the pros, by the way, that they're saying is you don't have to dilute it all. Often when you're painting with an airbrush, you have to put in like half and half, maybe even more, where you're heavily diluting the paint if you just have regular acrylic paint. This, you pour it in there and then you're good to go, you can paint it. That speeds up the process a lot. However, do note, that also means you get less paint, right? Because instead of using a couple drops of paint, you're squirting the whole thing in there, right? So it will go much quicker, but it is more convenient. So just keep that in mind. It's something I'm still mulling over myself. As you can see, I actually am a backer right now. I'm a backer for half of it. I probably want both. I'm going to explain that for a little bit. However, they're both that they have is this R Evolution, which comes with a Evolution 2-in-1, which is, from my understanding, a very nice airbrush. And then the next one comes with an Infinity. However, it is about $50 more than if you just ordered the paints. And then, of course, there's shipping on top of that. So it ends up being about $65 more than it would be just doing the two. So right now, I'm at the pick, gotta choose, and I might just choose both. It would still end up being less. That being said, it's like $50 more and you get a nice airbrush. I actually ended up grabbing this. So I'm going to explain this a little bit, but first of all, let me know. Should I return this and then just get the Evolution 2-in-1, or is this a good one? This is the Eclipse All-Star HPCS is what this one is. You guys let me know. I honestly, I tried to do some research, but I'm sure you guys have used them. Between that and the Evolution, which would you pick? The Infinity is something I'm not wanting to necessarily pay more for, though maybe, I don't know, because I think it probably ends up being about as much as this in the pledge. That being said, I get this now as opposed to having to wait until around September-ish. But I do want to start airbrushing, and the reason why is because Warhammer. Army painting, big terrain. I want to start actually printing more terrain and actually painting it and getting it on the table. Behind me will be a Warhammer table coming up here, and I definitely want to get more into that. And Infinity as well, Malifaux, all this kind of stuff. So definitely just want to have more painting, maybe even do some videos on it Anyway, let me know. Let me know about this. Let me know about this, especially with the you don't have to dilute it, therefore you're using a lot more of it. But definitely love your thoughts on that. Next up, we have Ascension Tactics Inferno. Look at this, 266,000, almost 2,000 backers. And this surprises me because it shows how much the gameplay matters. The game itself matters. This is obviously expansion to an existing game, Ascension Tactics. And that, again, I've shown this before, sequels, IP. That's what's selling. That's what's doing good. Established companies. We're going to see some indies that aren't doing so well, but this one is doing just fine. And it's not even like the best laid out Kickstarter when it comes to presentation. I'll explain a little bit. So this actually is doing better than I've seen probably any other campaign do with the image quality of the miniatures that they have. These could be way better. The contrast is way off on here. There's not enough of the texture pop in there. It just, none of that, but look, they don't even show most of the miniatures. They're like slowly revealing it. So they didn't even show all their miniatures and they made 266,000. That should tell me, like, these are not good. Like, this looks actively not as good as it could. So and I'm not trying to diss it. I'm just saying, like, that shows the strength of and something that people know and can trust. And I think that's the hugest thing you can have right now, is just building that trust and doing that. And of course, it also shows that the onus is definitely on new creators, indies, to really kind of prove themselves more than something that's already established. They can get away with not having stuff quite as ideal. Next up, we have the Origins Lit 2 gaming tables starting at $9.99. That's one of them right there. I'll have a review for that coming out here soon, potentially even over the weekend. I'll let you know. But I got Stonesaga played on that. I'm wanting to get some more. For instance, Townsfolk Tussle. You can see a little bit of the box probably right back there. It's the new expansion. I'll be trying to get some game on that as well. So expect an unboxing and a review also on that. And then, of course, on the table itself, that is the Meeples Champion. $1,000 gets you a table. That's pretty cool, I think. It's a nice little entry. That being said, there's a lot of other companies doing a lot of things right now, so we're going to take a look at that as well. For instance, Wymwood has a campaign right now, and then I know Geek and Son is coming out with one too. We'll cover that towards the end of the video. Now, Wymwood actually had some drama recently I'm going to talk about in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. That being said, 1.7 million, they're doing great. This is their modular gaming table. Essentially, you can make it big and do all these attachments and stuff like that. And this is kind of the new trend a lot of people are getting because it's cheaper and just a lot more customizable when it comes to what you can do. Also, that hex one looks super cool. I wouldn't play with it. It actually kind of bother me, but I think it looks cool. I appreciate other people having it. Hopefully that makes sense. But Wymwood is kind of the standard in the industry, right? I mean, they're definitely the biggest here in America for sure. So all that, by the way, is for like coming out like forever from now. So they're at June 2024 is when you'll be getting your game board table right about now. They're on wave 12, so keep that in mind also. Next up, we have the Curse of Candelabria, almost at 100,000. Now, that's not blowing things out of, the sky crazy. However, they have come and said that 159 is a legitimate goal. Now, they prefer 200, of course, keeps the company a little bit safer, stuff like that when it comes to future stuff. But they can deliver it at 159. And believe them, indies can do a lot of stuff like that. And they did the same with Sheol. Now, I actually reviewed a different version of this. They've changed things in this relaunch, but it's also doing much better. The old version did 34,000 and then they canceled it. So this one has already exploded way more than that. So I appreciate what they got going there. And a lot of it is because they got some cool minis now, and that's super neat. I mean, they always had like these kind of cool minis, but they have way more now, right? All this stuff is new. Now they have changed some things, simplified some things, or I guess I should say streamlined some things. I'm unsure how I feel about that because I did like a lot of the card mechanics stuff that they were doing. But I can also understand how this might actually make it tabled easier as well, which is super good too. So anyway, feel free to take a look at it, especially the differences. Just know that when you watch my review, I did play a slightly different version of the game. I've not played this version. All right, next up, Crystal Age has been canceled. They were at 28,000 and they had actually funded. They actually broke 29,000. Actually, still went a little bit more, but then they actually dropped lower and then were struggling to fund there. And really, they were just hoping for a bigger splash when it comes to that. Gravity Games did Sanctorum before, so you might know them from that. This is Crystal Age. It's a very, very different game. They have some feedback open that they're kind of looking forward to. I liked the price. It's definitely a game I think you would just kind of throw on the table, play, have some fun, and go. I'm going to be giving them some advice, of course, as well. But I would just like to see more done with the skills. I think the skills / abilities are the key to making that interesting. And then, like, really explaining what's unique, what's different. But they will be launching, again, soon. So I'll be sure to cover it when they do. This is a game, kind of. This is Iron Castle. It is on iOS and Android. It is essentially what a lot of our board games are, just with expensive physical pieces. Choose your own adventure game where you're kind of going through a book, going through a story, and you get to choose where you go and do all that stuff. It's the app part of those games minus all the costs and stuff like that. This is actually kind of done by, and you might see kind of similarities here, by Fred, who you might know from Monolith. So that's why it's here. I haven't tested it. There is one that's free, so I'll test the free one for sure. And then I think the other ones are like $10, but seems kind of cool. Seems kind of neat. All right, let's talk about this. Now, full disclosure, Geek and Son is sending me a table. I'm thinking that's going to be the Warhammer table. They're deciding, and I gave them the dimensions of the space I have, but as you can see, I have the space. So they're figuring out on their end what they're doing, but they will be sending that. So just keep that in mind. But you guys know me, and you'll see in my review of this table that I give pros and cons as always. But keep that in mind. Also, there is a 5% discount code down in the description below. So if you want any of their tables, you've been looking at their tables and they have plenty. I'm not going to bother showing all the other stuff. Just know that you can get 5% off. That is linked down below as well. And that's for you guys. And that's one of the benefits I can give to you guys with that kind of partnership. This is the Gwen table is what they're calling it. Gwen board game table. Think of it kind of like the Wymwood. However, they already have one kind of like the Wymwood. So what does this do that's different? We're going to kind of dive into that. First of all, it's coming April 5th, 2023. So that it's coming out here very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Of course, I'll be covering that just like everything else. And as you can see, it's very pretty. You slide in, it's the same kind of thing where you have the base thing and you can slide in any accessories you want and put them anywhere you want. I think that's super cool. They're using 100-year-old oak hardwood for it. And if anything, I love my old oak old. So I guess that's great. It sounds like quality. I know nothing about wood, but it sounds nice to me. Just let me know if it's not. Looks good. All right, so they're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff here, and I'm going to be showing several different things. First of all, they will be having financing options. It won't just be the fact that these tables are cheaper because of how they're constructed, because you can really customize it there instead of like building it in and routing it in and doing all that stuff. It's much cheaper to produce, but it still get kind of a quality product in the end, but for less. And they'll have some kind of financing. They'll talk about that later, of course. Yeah, see, like you can really customize, whatever you want. And it says dine, so I'm assuming there will be a lid, but they haven't shown that off either. Now, if we move over to this one, which is another news article from them, we can see some more information. For instance, their day one early bird, well, almost fell. I need to get used to this chair. 360-degree lights, so you get these lights. You get that for free. You get the inductive wireless charger and a power bank. That's kind of cool. I kind of dig that. They're pegging that at about $420 dollars that you get day one. So if nothing else, do yourself a favor as a consumer, go there day one and click the back button. You can cancel if you need to. I mean, don't do it like super lighthearted, because then that can really affect like stretch goals and stuff like that. But if you are kind of interested, feel free to slot it in and then do your research. Like, there's no harm in that on your side at all. And in fact, I encourage it. I do the same thing very often. If I'm mulling over something looks slightly interesting and it has an EB, I'll click the back and then I might cancel later, and that's fine. So yeah, definitely encourage. I mean, if it's that much, yeah, you definitely want that. So they can actually check it out in the USA and Europe. You'll be able to see it. here real soon. I'll have some more information on that on the next link. So we're going to move on from that. They will offer a low rate self pickup in the USA and Europe so that you don't have to pay some kind of exorbitant shipping price, which is super cool. I think even the Wymwood is 200, I believe. So what that is, and that's like from USA to USA. Obviously, if you pick it up yourself, it'll be even cheaper than that. And you'll be getting it before Christmas. Launching in April, you'll see it this year, and you're going to get it before Christmas. That's crazy. That's huge. That is massive. It really, really is. Let's go to one more link here. This is on kick.agency. It has some more information, though, so that's super great. There is a sign up, of course, and I'll link down to that, again, in the description below. Right here. Okay, so in the US, it'll be Noble Knights in Fitchburg, Beverly Hills, and Los Angeles. So you'll get Noble Knights in Fitchburg and Beverly Hills and Los Angeles. And then the one in Europe is Evesham in the United Kingdom, whatever the heck that is. Sounds cool. And then also the pickup options are Chicago and Los Angeles and Milford, Connecticut in the US. So 3 different hubs. And then in Europe, and that's actually pretty normal to have the zones like that. And then in Europe, it's again Evesham. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I have no idea. Never heard of it before. Sounds like a cool place if they're doing all the game stuff. So that's kind of the added info that this had there. So yeah, anyway, it's coming out. Looks pretty cool. Definitely kind of pumped for it because it looks like it. It's just, I like the minimalist design. Like if we go back here real quick to the Origins, I really do like this. And part of me really likes how inbuilt it is. But part of me appreciates the bigger build area of the surface or the playing surface. And then the lower profile, because again, I want to fit 2 tables in here. I don't have to remember. So me personally, that's something I'm looking forward to. Okay, so lastly, Aeon Trespass. I showed this off last time, right? Standalone sequels 2023, 12 Sinse for Herakles. Couple things. I'll be showing it off. That's pretty much all I'm going to tell you about it. I do have a preview though. That's it. That's what you get. That's what I get. That's all I know. That's all I know. That I'm sharing what I got, except that there is an update today. If it's not posted yet, it will be soon. That'll be linked down in the description below. So feel free to check out Aeon Trespass Odyssey's update. There should be update 99. We'll give you more information. Hopefully more about that because that looks super cool. Guys, that is all I have for you today. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, guys.